Yo, I know that I would usually come in here start off with my regular intro by saying stuff like, yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy, Underrated Mage. But today, listen, I'm going to talk my talk. Like, I am going to be just bragging because I've been, for the longest time, people have been telling me, yo, stop making fairy tale videos. Fairy tales are coming back. Fairy tales over. Blah, blah, blah. Hiro Mashima's done. He's done. And that's all I've been hearing ever since I've been making fairy tale videos. People are like, oh my god, just let the series go already, all of this. But I'm here today with some great news. Now, I know that I don't necessarily sound like super excited. Number one, because I'm really like kind of sick right now, so excuse me if you hear any coughing or if you hear anything in my voice. But yeah, I'm actually like kind of, or not even kind of, I'm actually sick. But when I saw this news, I was like, yo, I have to make a video on this. Now, this video basically confirms Hiro Mashima is working on a new series. Now, I know some of you guys might be thinking, well, just because it's a new series, that doesn't necessarily mean it's fairy tale. However, if Hiro Mashima is already working on a new series, then I'm going to go ahead and bet that it has to do something, that it could have something to do involving fairy tale. Now, I know some of you guys tweet, or some of you guys might not have Twitter, so you definitely didn't see his tweet, but Hiro Mashima tweeted him this himself. Yes, the author of Fairy Tail, Hiro Mashima, tweeted this himself. Get ready. This was September 4th. This September 4th, 6 a.m. He said, new series ideas. Good characters may be open. That was the first tweet. So I'm excited. Like, I just got hyped just reading that. He said new series ideas, good character open, or good characters may open. And yeah, he's gonna have some broken English due to the fact that, number one, this is Google Translate, or this is Bing actually translating this, so some of the English is going to be broken. But then he tweeted out this: during the draw, the sort of excitement. So I think one day trying to determine, cool, try this tomorrow, and blushing may throw away while the trash. Now, that must be like, that's literally like one of the most broken English sentences I've ever read in my life. But basically, he's saying that during like his time like drawing the new characters, he got excited, and basically he's saying that he threw away some of the trash drawings, you know. So this leads me to believe that, or this basically confirms that Hiro Mashima will be working on a new series. Now, let me just say something. For everybody saying stuff that, oh, fairy tale will return, fairy tale's done, blah blah blah, shut up. Please shut up, just shut up. And let me tell you why it was kind of dumb to think fairy tale is done. Okay, number one, fairy tale ended on such a last minute note. Like, we basically got revealed to have like a five chapters notice, like way too early. Like, we were all looking around like, wait, fairy tale's ending in 5 chapters? Like, when they gave us that warning, we were all thinking, okay, why is fairy tale doing this? Number one, we saw how popular fairy tale was. Like, you don't just go ahead and just end something without, like, fairy tale was the most, even though it wasn't necessarily like the most popular in its magazine, you know, because Fairy Tail, it's not in the same magazine. I know some of you guys might not know this, but Fairy Tail, it's not in the same magazine as series like Naruto, One Piece, you know. It's not in Shonen Jump. It's with series like Attack on Titan, Assassination Classroom, you know, Terraform Mars. It's with those things. And let's be honest, the only one that you can really argue, you know, and not Seven Deadly Sins too, but the one that you can really argue that is kind of popular, the Fairy Tail, like overall, is Attack on Titan. Like, that's the only one that you could probably argue that is most popular. Maybe Seven Deadly Sins, but Seven Deadly Sins is still a little because yeah, while those series do have more sales in Japan, worldwide, Fairy Tail is well known. And like I said, Attack on Titan is also one of those series that's worldwide. It had a huge push. So me personally, I'm really only arguing Attack on Titan is bigger than Fairy Tail, that out of that magazine. So you have the second most popular manga in this magazine straight up ending out of nowhere. You know, that was just spooky enough. And then on top of that, Fairy Tail was doing good. Like, Fairy Tail was just doing good when it comes to its sales and everything. So it doesn't really make sense for them just to end a huge cash cow, you know. It was consistent with its sales. So me personally, I know a lot of people, they just look, when they see a series ending, they just take it with a grain of salt. But you gotta look deeper than that. You gotta look deeper than that, you know. You gotta look at the details, because there's reasons why series end. Yes, there are reasons why series end. Maybe it's not doing good enough in sales. Maybe there's some type of fuss that the author has with the magazine publisher. You know, there's always going to be reasons why a series end. Maybe the author just got tired of it, which In my case, I think that was the case with Hiro Mashima. But yeah, Fairy Tail ending, you don't just gotta, like, when you take all things into consideration, I'm not trying to sound I'm not trying to sound a little bit cocky here, but if you take all things into consideration, you should have been able to tell, yo, there's definitely something going on with this, because there's no way they're just going to end a popular series like this and just leave it like that. Like, no, that just wasn't going to happen. But one thing that I want to discuss is the possibility. Now, like I said, he said new series idea. So, for all we know, I could still be wrong. If Fairy Tail could be over, there could be a completely new, different series that he could be working on. But the reason why I say that Fairy Tail is still going to be here is this reason. We seen Fairy Tail and Rave Master, you know what I'm saying? If you guys don't know what Rave Master is basically the first series that Hiro Mashima worked on. And yeah, it was basically Fairy Tail 1.0. Like, Fairy Tail has taken a lot of things from Rave Master, a lot of people, they say that Rave Master is the better version of Fairy Tail. But if you look at it like this, if Hiro Mashima follows his same pattern, which I honestly don't see why he wouldn't follow the same pattern. I mean, I can see why he wouldn't want to follow his same pattern when it comes to work, but we saw what he did with Rave Master and with Fairy Tail. Those two series are very similar. So even if it's not necessarily like a new Fairy Tail series, I am willing to bet that whichever series that he does make, it will be very similar. I'm talking about very, very, very similar to Fairy Tail, because Fairy Tail was similar to Rave Master. So unless Hiro Mashima wants to change it up, I can see Fairy Tail this new series, if it's a completely new series, I can see that being similar to Fairy Tail, you know what I'm saying? But another thing that I want to discuss is an actual thought. Like, if this is Fairy Tail related, then what could it be? Now, there's a lot of things that it could be. It could be a Fairy Tail Next Generation, and if it's a Fairy Tail Next Generation, I'm going crazy. Like, I am going to do a backflip. Like, I will literally record myself doing a backflip off a roof, onto, like, I will go crazy, because a Fairy Tail Next Generation would be insane. And I could also see it being maybe a Fairy Tail just in a series with a time skip. Like I said, Fairy Tail, it ended, the characters are still young. If they had a time skip, I'm not saying like a major time skip, not like a Next Generation time skip, but just a time skip when they're like maybe 3, 5, 7, 10 more years older, to a point where the characters are mature, when they're like their late to mid 20s. I think that'll be cool. Or they could also just do like a Fairy Tail, another Fairy Tail series where they pick up right where they left off, because let's be honest, they ended in the middle of a quest. Like, Fairy Tail, that's another thing. Like, I don't think people understand, like, Fairy Tail ended on them going on a quest. Like, they literally ended with them doing something that that could I just don't think people understand. It ended with them doing a quest. Like, you don't just end the series off like that and say, you know what, we're done. Like, that just screams, yo, there's more content to come. So maybe it'll have them doing the 100-year quest and then have them move on afterwards and pick up right where they left off. That could be one thing. Or, which I think this one is actually a lot plausible, but this one kind of be a side series, is Lucy finding Aquarius's key. Now, we know Lucy, she basically made a vow that she was going to go out and find Aquarius's key, and what better way would it be to introduce us back to the whole Fairy Tail series than to have Lucy, one of the main characters, go out and actually find her favorite key, or like the main key Aquarius. I don't know why I just had a huge tongue twister there, but yeah, Fairy Tail, it is a possibility. There is a possibility that it can come back. Make sure you guys go ahead and make a Twitter and follow Hiro Mashima. You guys won't regret it. The fact, when I saw him first tweet this out, and I don't know why, but when I saw him first tweet it out, usually I don't really even click on Hiro Mashima tweets and like translate them. Usually I just scroll past them. But it was just something about this tweet. I saw this tweet had like 10,000 likes, and I'm like, whoa, this tweet must be a banger. I translated it, and boom, it said new series idea. Good characters may be revealed. So even if this isn't Fairy Tail, I will make sure that, like, if this new series isn't Fairy Tail, I'm still gonna end up covering it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's Hiro Mashima at the end of the day. I have so much respect for him, you know, even though Fairy Tail isn't my favorite series, you know, Fairy Tail, me personally, I do think that just like any other series, Fairy Tail does has a problem, but nonetheless, I still do respect Hiro Mashima, and I have a lot, you know, if whatever he does, I'm gonna follow him from here on out. So yeah, best of luck to Hiro Mashima. Best of luck to this new series. I'm praying it's a new Fairy Tail, but if it's not a new Fairy Tail, I'm not going to be mad. But yeah, overall, that's basically it for this little video. Comment what you guys see down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.